You are not alone. We are all connected. I want to tell you a story about an experience that happened to me 50 years ago when I was 23 years old. But before I do that, let me ask you this question. Have you ever sat by yourself, perhaps at home or at another place, and you felt alone? You felt like you didn't have connections? Or have you ever been with a crowd of people in a social situation or somewhere out in public, and yet you still felt alone? You felt like there wasn't anybody that was really there for you. I think that these are common experiences. I think that we've all had them. When I was 23, of course, I was a young man and I was relatively immature. I had had a few great experiences in my life, but I had an experience this one afternoon that I didn't expect. I hadn't read about this. I hadn't talked about it. I hadn't discussed. It came to me out of the deepest part of my meditation. So let me tell you the story. Perhaps you can picture this as I use these words, and I'll try to paint a picture that you can place yourself into. I had been taught to meditate within the probably 4 or 5 months of this time. And I was sitting in the late afternoon in my apartment by myself. I was sitting in my room. I like to meditate late in the day. It was felt right to me. It was a significantly great time. And I was going to do my 20-minute meditation. And it has several parts. It has a focusing part, concentration. Then it has you open, like you're watching a blank movie screen or a TV screen, and you anything that comes through your mind, those in those moments, about a 10-minute period, you just sort of observe them. I wasn't expecting anything unusual that particular afternoon. I did my meditation, and in that period where I sort of open up to be available to whatever message would come, I found myself, see if you can place yourself here. I found myself sitting next to a river. My back was against a tree. It was like I was sitting there like Buddha. I was meditating on the water, and the water was unusual. It was special. The water flowed from my right to my left. It was a slow moving river at that point. And one of the things that was most unusual about it is the water was golden. It was pure golden energy. And this was the water that drifted down. I don't know how I knew this, but instantaneously I knew that I was sitting and witnessing the river of life. I don't know how. I don't know why. And I became involved. I knew that it was flowing downstream. And at the end of the stream and the river, it emptied into the sea, into the ocean. And the ocean was golden as well. At some point in the cycle of life, the water would evaporate, it would come up and form clouds, it would drift over the highest mountains, it would come down as rain, golden rain. It would become part of streams, rivers, until it entered this larger river of life. And so the cycle of life continued. I was amazed, like, why was I gifted? Why was I guided to see that image? But that's not what this story is about. The part that really struck me, and perhaps you can imagine this situation, but as I was sitting there with my back to the tree as if I was Buddha watching the river of life, I saw myself in that river of life. I was like a molecule, the smallest part of the universe, flowing in that river of life. This one atom of water, this one molecule was drifting down, and this was my life. And at that moment, I was overcome by a feeling that I was a part of something much bigger. I was a part of every other thing living or existing within our universe and perhaps beyond. We were all connected. We were all bonded as we flowed through this life. I knew that this was something special. I felt it in my heart. And though this was an unusual experience, I must share with you, a tear literally came to my eye. It was a tear. I was crying in joy because I was not alone. I could never be alone. I was part of something so much bigger, an important part of a cycle that would continue. I came out of that meditation and I was kind of changed. Now, I don't know if you could see yourself as if you were me, sitting in meditation, sitting by the river of life, noticing yourself drifting through life and feeling at some level a special bond, a special connection with all other things in our universe. It's a message that I felt compelled to share. 50 years, as clear as it was happening now, since the day, that afternoon, sitting alone in my apartment, having my meditation and experiencing my connection with all other things as I watched myself flowing in that great river of life. I hope you can ponder upon that. I hope that you find that this is useful.